Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I teach and play through Zombicide Gear Up. And I thank you for joining me for this tutorial and solo playthrough of Zombicide Gear Up. It's a flip and write game in the world of Zombicide by Jordy, Adan, and Marco Portugal. And it's published by CMON Games, or CMON Games. And yeah, this is a game that I picked up at my local game store. Just thought I'd try it out because I like the Zombicide. And I thought, flip it right, that sounds great. And so in this game here, you are a lone survivor. You're going to be going through waves of zombies until you got to fight one of the super zombies. And we will be tackling the super abomination in this playthrough. And so let's go into setup here. And so the first thing you do is you choose a character. Now I've chosen Yara, and you're going to use the 1P side of the character. And then you're going to choose companions to go along with you. And I've chosen Bradley, Lisa, and Skylar. You cannot choose the same one that is your character itself. So we have these three here. We'll set them up right here. And then you're going to choose a level of difficulty. And so there's easy, standard, hard, and nightmare. And this is going to help you with your setup here. So I'm going to choose the standard. And so the standard has you starting out with one of the normal zombies, that's the black icon there, and one of the elite zombies, I guess you could say, in the red there. And then we'll be using the black side of the spawn deck, but we'll be using the red side of the final boss. And so the boss we're playing is Super Abomination. And yeah, this one's a challenging boss. And so we'll set the boss right here off to the side. The boss doesn't come in play until the second round of the game, but it can just sit here for now. You'll need to shuffle both the regular zombies and the elite zombies here, and then draw the appropriate amount for your difficulty level. So we need 1 and 1. So we'll flip these over here. Anytime you're drawing zombies, they go into what is the third slot here. You'll see slots on the side. These are street levels. And so this is the third one, second one, and first one here. And then we have our spawn instructions card, and we'll place it right here. And the last thing for setup we need to do is set up our action deck. And so the way the action deck works, you're going to shuffle both of these here. So all these cards with the little question mark and the hand on the back, you'll shuffle those, shuffle these cards here, and then draw one of these cards. That's going to be set aside and not used for this round. And then what you're going to do is, this is the way I set it up, okay? The game tells you to lay these out in a row, but this is easier for me. So I put one of the red cards down, then an action card, then a red card, action card, and so on. And you're going to do this until you run out of the red cards, and then you're just going to put the last three on top like that. So that's how you set up the deck. Same thing will happen with the boss deck, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. But then you're going to place this right here. And then, of course, you need a dry erase marker, and we are all set to go. And so on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to reveal the next card here, and then you're going to activate the weapons of the revealed color. So there's blue, green, red, and yellow. And then you're going to upgrade, where if you've killed any zombies that round, you'll get to gain an upgrade, and the upgrades are shown on the different weapons. Then you'll do the zombie walk, where the zombies move forward according to this card here. And then if there's a summon card, you'll draw that and summon according to this spawn here. So these letters, they'll tell you what kind of zombie to spawn. All right, so when a card is revealed, it's going to look something like this, where you have the weapon as shown here, and it tells you that that's the weapon you get to use this turn. And then when the zombies walk, any of the symbols shown here that match up to the zombie symbols on the bottom left-hand corner, they'll walk forward one space. If they're at the bottom and needing to walk forward, they will instead attack you for as much damage as they can do. And so let's talk about the anatomy of the zombie cards here. So on the zombie cards, you're going to have a variety of information. First of all, the thick white line that's shown here around the grid, that is the area of their hit points. So every square inside of that thick white line is a hit point for these zombies. And so in order to kill them, you have to fill in all those squares. Now the star squares here indicate damage. And so these stars refer to how much damage they will do to you if they attack you. So if this zombie dog made it all the way to you and attacked you, and you had not crossed out any of these stars, then the zombie would do a total of 4 damage. Whereas this one over here would actually do 5. You'll see down at the bottom, It has 2 stars that can't be crossed off, so it always does 2 damage plus the 3 in the grid here. Now there are other icons that you'll see. There's some ammo here. There's also some shields you'll see on the zombie boss here. Those, when you cross those off, you're going to circle them in their appropriate row here down on the bottom of your character card. And those you can use later. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And so that is the general anatomy of the card. Now, the arrows down here refer to the activation of movement. Like I said before, when you're looking at some of these action cards, they will have arrows or an X to indicate no movement. But if they show the arrow that matches the zombie card here, then those particular zombies will move down one lane on the street level. Now on your character board here, you have a variety of information as well. You have your different weapons and how you can use them. You also have a list of the special abilities that come with those weapons from the upgrades and whatnot. And so these explain how those benefit you. Then you have your ammo stock here at the bottom, your shield, and your health. And so when you are told to use a weapon like this one here, you get to use that particular shape in one of the zombies. Now, when you place the shape inside the zombie, it has to completely fit. So you can't only place, in this particular case, 3 of the 4 squares. You have to place all the squares. And if you can't place them, then you can't use it. So you have to keep that in mind. Now, what you can do with that shape, though, is you can rotate it, you can mirror it, so you can make it fit in many of the cases. Now, on top of using that weapon, there are some upgrades that you might gain. And so the different upgrades here, with the double arrows here, is showing a split. That means you can split that shape into 2 different shapes. So you could have a shape of the 3 squares in an L-shaped pattern and a single square, and you're able to use it on that zombie in those 2 different shapes and fit it in there. So let's say that was the case with the SSG. I could go 1, 2, 3 like this, and maybe put the last single square down at the bottom. That is one way to do it, or you could split it 2 and 2, so you could go 2 here and then 2 here. Something like that. So you can split it up. That's assuming you have the upgrade for it. There's some other symbols here like the plus shield. And what that indicates is that when you use this weapon, anytime you cover up a star, you'll gain a shield for that. Then you have this one here. It's an arrow kind of pushing upward. It's a knockback. So basically when you hit an enemy, you'll actually knock them back to the 3rd street slot. So if the zombie dog was all the way up here and you hit them with the baseball bat, they would go all the way back here. There are some symbols here that show 3 times and 2 times. That means you draw that shape that many times. This last symbol with the little pulse symbol, it refers to the fact that you can use adrenaline. And adrenaline is taking 1 damage to activate the weapon a 2nd time. So the scythe and the metal claws both have the adrenaline. And so if you decide to do that, you just cross out 1 health or 1 shield, and you'll be able to use that weapon a 2nd time, drawing that shape in the same zombie or another zombie. And so the ammo, shield, and health, we'll talk about that for a moment. Ammo is used to draw a single square in any, zombie or the boss if the boss is available. And so all you have to do is you cross out an outlined bullet and just cross out a square somewhere on one of the enemies. Now, of course, you could use a bullet to cross out another bullet, giving you another bullet to use again that same turn. It's totally up to you. The shields here, the shields will block damage if you want them to. And so anytime that you're going to take damage and you have shields, you have the option of crossing out shields instead of health when taking damage. And then, of course, this is your health here. The moment you cross out all your hearts of health is the moment you die and lose the game. And as for the companions here, you're going to have opportunities to activate them. You'll see a little smiley face in the upper left-hand corner here. This refers to their activation symbol. On some of the cards in this deck here, there will be a smiley face in this position here right next to the weapon symbol. That indicates that you can use one of the companions that turn. And so when you use a companion, you'll perform its weapon ability, and these companions do different things. Like this one here says that you can cross off this symbol here, and if it crosses off a star, you activate it a 2nd time in a different zombie. So that's kind of nice. This one here just lets you use 5 single squares anywhere. So you can use it on multiple zombies or the same zombie. This one here lets you draw the 2 square symbol in a zombie in each of the different lanes. So 1 zombie in each lane, and the boss if the boss is available. All right, so now that we know how to use the weapons, we'll talk about what happens when you kill a zombie. So once you've covered up all the squares in the thick white lined box here, then you will get an upgrade and the zombie will go away. And so when you get an upgrade, you cross off one of the symbols underneath one of the weapons here. Now you have to start off with the one on the left. You'll see a kind of a 1 there. It's kind of hard to see. And then a 2. So you have to do the 1 first and then the 2. But once you have both upgrades in a weapon, they can be quite powerful. And you're able to use both abilities if you'd like. And then after the upgrade step, the zombies will move forward. And then after that, if there's a spawn card on top of the deck here, we will draw that spawn card and add more zombies to the street. All right, so as you go along, we're going to be going through this deck. We're going to be killing zombies and more zombies are going to be summoned. When we've made it through this deck, then we will build the boss deck. The boss deck is going to substitute the red spawn cards that are currently in this deck with new boss spawn cards. And then the abomination will become available to be attacked. And so you're going to have to choose between both the zombies that are attacking you and the abomination and try and kill both of them. But really the goal is to eliminate the super abomination before we get to the end of the deck or before we lose all our health, which is most likely going to happen before the deck runs out. And so once again, if we lose all our health or if the deck runs out, we lose the game. But if we beat the super abomination, then we win. All right, and so we're ready to go here. So we're going to flip over the first card. And the first card is showing a green weapon, which is the SSG-08. And then it's also showing that the single arrowed zombies are going to walk during the walk step. Now these are double arrowed zombies, so these two will not walk. So that's really nice. And we get to draw this shape into one of these zombies here. And I think I'm just going to draw it into the soldier here. And we'll just put it in this corner here, like so. And now I've covered up one of the bullets, so we'll gain a bullet here, just putting an outline here. Now I could, if I want to, on this turn, spend that bullet to hit one of the zombies and cross off a square, but I don't want to do that yet. We're going to save that until I need it. And so now we go on to upgrade step. I did not kill any zombies. We move on to the zombie walk step. This particular kind of zombie is walking, but neither of these are that. So then we go on to the spawn card. There's no spawn card here. We go on to the next turn and reveal the next card. All right. So, oh my goodness, it's the green weapon again. On top of that, look, we have the smiley face that refers to the companions. So I'm able to use the companions if I'd like. I'll probably use Lisa. I think she's going to be the best one because I'll be able to use 5 single squares. Now, before that, I want to use the gun. Now, I could use the companion first. You can choose if you want to use your weapon or the companion first. It's up to you. But I'm going to cross off this one, this one, this one, and this one. And so now it leaves 3 squares left here to deal with the soldier. And then with Lisa, I'm going to cross off 1 here for the ammo. So we'll gain that ammo there. And then we'll cross off 4 more squares. Again, with Lisa, we get to do 5 squares total. So we'll do 1 for the damage, 1 here, and then 1 for the ammo, and then 1 here. So now we've got 3 bullets. So that's not too bad. And so I haven't killed a zombie yet. Now, it does show that these 2 zombies are going to walk. So the double arrows walk, so they just move forward 1 space. So they're not going to attack me yet. They have to move 2 more times before they can attack me. So we're good there. All right, so now we're on to the next turn here because there's no spawn card. We'll flip this over, and we have the red weapon. That's the baseball bat. And these zombies are going to be moving forward again. Now, this is really nice. The baseball bat, it does 3 single squares. So I can use it with the soldier right now and just go 1, 2, and then the third one, I guess we'll go right here. And so now we go on to the upgrade step. Did I kill a zombie? I sure did. I killed this soldier. So there we go. I'm just going to erase that off. Soldier's gone. That means I get a free upgrade. So what do I want to use it on? Now the SSG's already been used twice. So I'm thinking I'm going to upgrade the scythe because the scythe hasn't been used yet at all. So now I have adrenaline for the scythe, which means I can take 1 damage to activate it again. And I think that's going to be useful. Having that early on, being able to use it twice, that is really good. All right, so now we go on to the zombie walk step, and the zombie dog's moving forward 1 space. All right, next time it moves, it's going to hurt me. Again, it'll do damage based on the number of stars that are visible, and only 1 star is visible right now. So it's not too much damage. I'm not too worried about it. But now we have a spawn card. All right, so the first spawn card of the game for you to see. And it's fairly straightforward. You just look for the letter that it matches and spawn that zombie. So we flip it over here, and it's a C. So that means it's an elite zombie. You'll see the C here, showing 0 of the regular zombies and 1 of the elite zombies. So we flip this over, and we have a brute. Now the brutes are particularly powerful because they have a lot of hit points. If you see, there's a lot of squares here. So it's going to take a little bit to kill them, but we'll get a shield and an ammo out of it, so that's not too bad. And these are also the single arrow, so they're different than the zombie dog being the double arrow, so that's kind of nice. But we're ready to move on to my next turn. Flipping this over, and we activate the scythe. Awesome. I mean, that was awesome. So I was kind of hoping that the metal claws would activate because I put myself in a really bad position with the zombie dog. I think he's going to hit me no matter what because I can't use that pattern in the zombie dog here. See the pattern? I've got 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Again, you have to use that full pattern in order for it to fit in the zombie. So I can't use it on the zombie dog. So that means I'm using the scythe on the brute here. And so I'm going to flip that pattern around. We'll go 1, 2, and then 3 here. And then I am going to take 1 damage, but I got a shield out of that. So I'm just going to use that shield right away, crossing it off. And then I'm going to flip that pattern around and rotate it. So we go 1, 2, and then 3 like that. And that's going to give me another ammo. Now, if I really wanted to, I could spend all 4 ammo on the zombie dog and kill it, but I don't think it's worth it. I think taking the 1 damage is no big deal. And so we're going on to the move step here, and this zombie's going to move, but it's already at the bottom, so it's going to hit me, and I'm going to take 1 damage. We'll cross off 1 heart here. All right, so now we go on to the spawn here, and we're spawning an A zombie, which is a single regular zombie. Not too bad. It's a crawler. Now, crawlers, they don't do a lot of damage, but they don't give a lot of stuff either, so it's only going to give me 1 ammo. All right, so we're ready for our next turn, and we have the scythe again, as well as the companion. All right, so that's pretty good. And on top of that, the single arrows are moving forward, so the zombie dog can just sit there for now. I just realized I forgot to flip over Lisa, but I'm going to use Skylar this time. And Skylar, once again, puts the L-shaped pattern in a zombie, and if it crosses off a star, then I get to activate this weapon again in another zombie. So I'm definitely going to do that. And so we'll cross off 1, 2, and 3, and 4 like that in the brute. And it did cross off a star. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. I rotated that a little bit. And that gives me an ammo. Now I'm in a really good position with both of those. And then of course I have my scythe activation. So I can activate that once. And I'll go 1, 2, 3 like that. All right, and so now these move forward. So they're going up 1 space, again signified by that arrow there. And then we're going to draw our spawn card, and we have another A zombie. All right, so now we have a bomber. Now the bomber has a special ability here, signified by the star here. And the bomber, when it attacks you, it actually blows up. You don't get an upgrade for it dying that way, and it'll do as much damage as shown stars on here. So at least 2 damage, maybe up to 5 damage. So you have to be really careful with the bomber. You want to get him out of the way. All right, so we're ready for the next turn here. And we have the baseball bat again and a companion. Well, that's really good. The companion is going to be really useful here. Well, mostly. I can't use it with the zombie dog. Oh, and the zombie dog is going to be activating, so we have to be careful with that. But let's go ahead and use Bradley here. And once again, Bradley gets to put this 2 square pattern in a zombie in each street. So we'll be able to do it in the brutes and the bomber, but not in the zombie dog. That's unfortunate. So we'll flip him over here, and we'll put it here, here. Oh, it looks like I still have 1 star left there, so I'm going to have to kill the brute some other way. So maybe I should wait on the brute. Sorry about that. Take back there. We'll use it on the crawler. That way the crawler dies and we get an upgrade. And then for the bomber, we'll use it here to get a shield. I guess I could have turned it sideways to cover up a star, but I don't think it's necessary right now. All right, on top of that, we have the baseball bat, and I get to do 3 single squares, and I think I'm going to use them all on the zombie dog because the zombie dog is advancing this turn. And then I'm going to use 1 of my ammo to finish off the zombie dog. So now I've killed 2 zombies this turn. This is going to give me 2 upgrades. And I mean, honestly, I'm just going to use the baseball bat. That way I can push zombies back. So I upgraded that twice. All right, so now the double arrow zombies move forward, but neither of these are those. So we're going to go on to the spawn card. We have the C spawn again. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of elites here. So we have another bomber. That's not good. Wow, this is going to be tough here. All right, so we're ready for our next action. Our next action is the baseball bat again. Okay, that's not too bad. And so the baseball bat, once again, I've upgraded it. It has the shield bonus, so anytime I cover up a star with a baseball bat, I gain a shield for that, and I have the pushback. Now all these guys are going to be moving forward, so why don't we hit this brute once to knock it back one space. And then I'm going to use the other two baseball bats to, I think we'll hit 1 star here and 1 star here, kind of in those corner areas. And that's going to gain 2 shields for covering up those, again from the baseball bat bonus. All right, so that's nice. Now we get to move these forward here. And then we have to draw a spawn card, and we have the bee zombie spawning. So that's a black one here, a regular zombie. All right, and so we're ready for our next turn, and we have the scythe again. So the scythe is activating. I should have upgraded that earlier, but that was my fault. All right, so for the scythe here, we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 like this, covering up those stars on that bomber. And then I'm gonna take 1 damage, it'll go to my shields to use it again. And this time I'll go 1, 2, and 3 like this. That gives me an ammo and a shield. All right, so we look and they are not walking this time. The X shows that they're not walking, so that's good. We're drawing our next spawn card. It's another regular zombie. All right, there's a lot of zombies here. Another crawler. And now we draw our last action card of this first round. And this time it's our signature weapon. We have the metal claws here. Now I get to draw this pattern twice for each time I use this weapon, and I can use it a second time by spending 1 damage. And on top of that, look at this. Everything's moving. Both the single arrow and the double arrow are moving, so everything's moving down. All right, so I'm going to use 1 right here, killing off that brute. And then I'll use the next one right here for those 2 spots. That gains me an ammo. Then I'm going to take a damage to the shields to activate it again. And so I get to go once here, like that. And then I'll go here like this. And then I'm going to use 1 ammo to finish off this bomber. So I've killed off 2 zombies. That's going to allow me to upgrade some more stuff. 2 upgrades. That's awesome. So I think we will upgrade the scythe, making it so we can split that symbol. And then we'll upgrade the SSG, doing the same thing. All right, so now everything gets to move forward. That's not good. And of course we have a spawn card here, and we're spawning a regular zombie one more time. Okay, so now we've reached the end of the deck. So at this point, you're going to separate out all of the red spawn cards, because now we are going to assemble the boss deck, because now the boss is in play. And so you want to have taken the set aside action card, and we're going to shuffle all these together like so. And then once again, you're going to remove 1 from there, and that gets removed from the game. And then you have the boss deck here. So you have 3 level 1 cards for the boss, and then 4 level 2s like this, all right? And so we're going to build the boss deck. So we have a level 2 on the bottom, then an action card, level 2, and an action card, another level 2, and so on. So you can just keep doing this until you run out like before, go 1, 2, and 3, and then that deck is ready to go. Now the boss is in play. So the boss here, he's tough, all right? He has a ton of hit points. He also does a ton of damage. You know, you gotta be careful because he's gonna hit you. All of these yellows, those all count as damage if he hits you. So you have to be very careful. On top of that, he has a special ability. So if this symbol comes up, he will have you cross out 2 shields if you have them. If you don't have them, it has no effect, so don't worry about that. Or if you only have 1, you just have to cross off that 1. On top of that, he also has these blue stars here. So later in the round, when the blue and yellow stars get activated, he'll be doing some extra damage there. It's kind of like a frenzy mode. And on top of that, we still have some zombies in front of us that we have to deal with. So we kind of have to deal with both. But I do have the baseball bat, which lets me knock things back. So that's going to be helpful. And do bear in mind that you only have to beat the boss. If there are any zombies left in play and you beat the boss, it's okay. You know, you win no matter what. And then the last thing you get to do is you get to flip over your companions again. So you'll have these available for use. So that's really nice. All right, and so we're ready to go. We flip over the first card, and we have the red activation, and as well as the single arrow activation. So that means that the bomber down here is going to activate. Now we do have the baseball bat, which lets me push things back and gain shields for covering up stars. So we're going to use one of those squares on that star there, and that's going to give us a shield. So that's nice. And then he gets pushed back, boom, to the third slot. So that was good. And then on top of that, we might as well use it on the crawler here, pushing the crawler back and gaining another shield. And so the last one, I almost feel like I should get an ammo out of it or a shield. Maybe I should put it on the runner because the runner is going to start moving up faster. It has both activation arrows. And so I covered up another star. That's going to give me another shield. All right, so now the single arrows move forward. So we have the bomber, crawler, and the runner. I'm going to kind of put it off the screen here. And so all four of those are in that same zone. All right, so we're ready for our next activation here. And we have the baseball bat again. And this time it's activating the double arrows. And so we'll at least hit the zombie dog once to move it back. So that's going to give us another shield from that bonus. So it moves back up here. And then we'll hit the runner again, crossing off its other star there, giving us another shield, and then pushing it back. And now we have one more to use. And I think I will use it on, yeah, I'll use it on the runner to give me another ammo, because I'm going to need some of this ammo, especially when it comes to the super abomination. I should really start focusing on that, but we'll get to that in just a minute because we have one more activation before we have to worry about the boss doing anything. Now, at this point, though, we have the double arrows activating, so they're going to move forward once again. And so they're all in the second row one more time. All right, so we have our next card here, and it looks like, oh my goodness, baseball bat again, and the double arrow again. And on top of that, we have the companion. So with that in mind, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the baseball bat first, pushing the runner back. I'm going to hit it right here to gain another shield. And then with the zombie dog here, I think I'll hit it also in one of the stars here, pushing it back, gaining another shield. And then I can use Skylar here. And so I definitely want to use this on the boss. So what I will do is I will use it once on the runner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 there. And then I will use this here like so. Kind of turning it around and upside down there. Yeah, I think that was the right call. So Skylar gets flipped over here. And then these move down here. Now I forget if I used all three of my baseball bat, but maybe I'll only use two, but that's okay. We are going to go on to our first boss card here. All right, so we're going to flip this over and see what happens. All right, so now this symbol here indicates the boss special ability right here. And then it's also going to summon. It's going to summon one regular zombie. And then the special ability eliminates 2 of my shields. It's not horrible, but it could, it could be better for sure. And we're ready for our next turn here. And we draw, all right, my special weapon, except everything's going to be activating. So I have to be really careful here. So first things first, I'll use one activation here. Again, I can use my special weapon twice with one activation. So did that. I'll use it on the zombie dog as well. And then I'll take 1 damage to my shields to do it again. Now at this point, I think I should focus on the boss here. So we'll go 1 here and 1 here. And then 1 here and 1 here. Just trying to cross off those stars. And then last, I am going to use 1 ammo to get rid of this runner. This runner's bothering me, so that was its last health. It's going away. That means I will get to upgrade my last upgrade here. So that's kind of nice. But now we go on to the activation, the walk. These are all walking forward, and so is this one. We're drawing our next spawn card. And oh man, the boss is doing damage. This is not good. That was an early damage. Okay, so now we count up all the stars here as well as the star down here. All the yellow ones, because it just shows yellow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Ouch. So that is 6 shields there. And then 3 health. Not good. Not good. All right, so we're ready to draw our next card here. And we have our SSG that we're going to get to use. On top of that, we get to use a companion as well. And we do have to be careful because the double arrows are going to move forward. So this zombie dog, I really need to take care of unless I want to take damage. Now, the nice thing about the SSG is I can split up that symbol. So if you see on here, I can cover up these 2 squares here and these 2 squares here. That'll give me an ammo, and then I can use that ammo to fill in this spot. However, this is not what I want to do because you know what? I'm going to let the zombie dog hit me. I'm more worried about the abomination hitting me because of all the damage it can do. So I want to try and cover up as many stars as I can in here, and maybe even get some shields in the process if I can. And so I'm going to split that up with 3 and 1. And so I will go 1, 2, 3 like this, and then 1 there. Now the nice thing is I get 3 shields out of that, because that upgrade, that latest upgrade, gave me that shield bonus on the green weapon. And on top of that, I think I'm going to use all my ammo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to cover up the rest of its stars. I think we just need to get these out of here. I can't sustain another hit like that. I should have done this earlier. All right, so now the double arrowed zombies activate. And so we're going to take 1 damage from the zombie dog, and it'll go to our shields here. The runner's going to move up. This is not good. I'm not in really in a good position. All right. Now we have our next spawn card. The boss is eliminating 2 shields and doing damage. Now all its stars are covered up except 1 and 2. So that's going to be 2 damage. That's not too bad. But now we have our next activation here, and let's see. We get our scythe this time. All right. And the nice thing about the scythe is we can split it up if we want to, and we can use it twice. Well, our first activation here is right here. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I've used up all the shields I can gain, so I don't gain any more shields, but I can take a damage to use it again, and I guess that's the best thing to do. And I'll go 1, 2, splitting it up to put the third one, I guess, right up here. Now, unfortunately, that means this runner and zombie dog attack me for 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Ouch. I probably should have taken care of them. So that's 4 damage. Now we summon the boss card, and it's going to eliminate shields, which I don't have, and attack me for any remaining stars, blue or yellow. And so we have 3 total, 1, 2, and 3. Looks like I'm going down. All right, so now we have the SSG activating again, and no zombie movement, so that's good. But in this case here, I don't have a lot I can do. I can just place it kind of in this pattern right here, just like that. Still have, I don't know, about 10 hit points left on the boss. Let's see what the boss does here. The boss is going to attack me for 3 more, and then that is the end. That is too bad. My next activation was the scythe again. I don't know if that would have been enough to do anything. Yeah, that I didn't manage my resources as well as I should have. And so that was the tutorial and solo playthrough of Zombicide Gear Up, the flip and write game by Jordy, Adan, and Marco, Portugal, and published by CMON Games. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you thought of this game. I quite enjoyed it. It's challenging, it's fun, it's quick. You know, it really gives you the Zombicide feel of the zombies coming toward you. Yeah, it's quite a fun game. But let me know what you think. Please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here, and I thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.